He lies on his back, arms outstretched, his legs apart, his eyes open, watching the soft snow float towards him. He knows he is dying, but he can do nothing about it, not pinned down the way he is. There is no pain, merely a numbness that he knows is not wholly caused by the damp heather beneath him. It is as if he has been given a local anaesthetic that has desensitised his body, but left his mind active. It creeps through him, stealing all feeling, all mobility, all life. His blood, though, he can still feel, or at least he thinks he senses it bubbling from the wound. If he could move his head, he might be able to look down and see it oozing freely around the cold steel, soaking through his clothes and seeping through to the earth below. This earth is no stranger to blood. It is steeped in it. It may have been spilled 275 years before, but the blood remains, mixing with the roots of the heather, settling between the rocks and the pebbles and the grit to rest in the muck below, sinking perhaps to the very centre of the earth. A faint mist drifts through the darkness, but he does not feel its icy caress. He thinks he sees shapes in the swirl, nebulous, without form or flesh, but they are all the same. Men, long dead, yet still tied to the blood-saturated ground they no longer feel beneath their feet. He senses them clustering around him like pallbearers, studying him, studying his clothes. They're at once so familiar and yet so very alien. On some level he understands their confusion, for he is dressed as they, but he is not one of them. His garb is of more recent manufacture, carefully contrived to look homespun. And yet, despite this, he knows these ethereal figures are ready to welcome him to whatever world of vapour and shadow they now call their own. He hears, thinks he hears, sounds, muffled, faint, flat, the clank of metal on metal, a stutter of gunfire, groans, harsh cries of anger and agony, screams as iron rips flesh. Tears. Men weeping as they die or as their brothers die. Highland voices keening as their comrades' lives slip into the dank air. Tough men for whom life had been hard, now reduced to sobs over the futility of it all. He wants to weep with them and for them, but he has no tears. He has no time. He has nothing. He has not been a good man. He had not known it then, it had never occurred to him. But he knows it now as he lies on the cold earth waiting for a death he can do nothing to prevent. He has accepted it and has made his peace. He might as well try to stop every snowflake from hitting the ground. But no, he has not been a good man. He has not been evil, though he has known evil men, but he has not lived his life well. He wonders if, somehow, he deserves this. The numbness has stolen just about everything from him. The shapes tighten around him, waiting, for they also know his time of flesh and bone is nearing its end. He too must become a creature of mist and memory. They will help him, he knows that. They are strangers separated by time and mortality, but they are brothers in death. The sounds of battle fade. He watches the snowflakes as they drift gracefully from the dark skies to settle on his upturned face, a slight breeze catching them and sending them into a soft spin. Slow-motion ballerinas swirling to music no one can hear. Finally, inevitably, he lets the cold take him until he becomes one with it. His blood is still.